Yo, 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 what's up? Talk Soon Podcast. Y'all know who it is. It's me, Mr. Frazier. We got Gares in the building. We got Mr.
Here.
Hollywood Chuck, or Mr. No Hollywood Chuck. And we got Vince in the building. How about those Bears? We're going to get it started today. Episode 9. We here. Talk Soon Podcast. Let's get it popping, G.
Yeah, you just go right at my guy with the Bears. Sheesh. All right, we're going to go over last week's games. Before we get into football, baseball. I don't know if you guys caught any of the games. I know me and Vince watched Astros game 2. Valdez just doesn't have the juice. Rangers go up 2-0. Astros, I'm not going to say they're out of it because they're the Astros, so they still got a chance, but it's going to be a tough ride to win that series. It's looking like Rangers and Phillies are on a crash course. Phil's got to handle business tonight, though. They go up 2-0. They got Nola on the mound. So, you guys watch some baseball, Chuck?
You already
know. Win, man.
Of course.
After this brutal NFL weekend, we need some give back, man. Are they gonna win, man? Like, can we trust the Phillies tonight?
Yeah,
Jackson, us, you the Phillies.
Phil's will handle business.
Can we trust the Phillies?
Phil's will handle business tonight. I think they're.
What's crazy is though, like Diamondbacks got hot at the right time.
They did.
Scorching hot, man. Like, and don't get me wrong, because I follow baseball year round. I mean, the whole season. So they were decent. Like they were like always in playoff contention, but they caught fire, man. Like, and I think this is when it like dies down. Like Philly just on fire right now, but this is the Philly team you expected the whole year. Like they playing like they should play. On top of that, like that the 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th hitters are just like they just playing out of control, and they still don't have Rhys Hoskins yet, bro. Like let's be real. Like Philly probably go to the World Series, and like I said on the other side with the Rangers and the Astros, don't let that regular season shit like come into play in these postseason. That's a whole different Rangers teams right now. They tired of hearing that Houston owns them and bullshit. This team, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's Houston. They could win 4 straight. Let's be real. But like, I just feel like it's going. I feel like it's going to be a sweep. I feel like the Rangers close it out. Like I just don't see. I don't see Houston. I don't see how pitching is going. I don't see. I just see they're too strong right now. Seager, all those guys, they can hit whoever. Yeah, you going, and that's going to be a fun World Series. Phillies and Rangers. That's going to be something.
Got to get there first. Rangers get Scherzer back, so he's on the mound game 3. If he's on his game, that's good night. So I can say that. Let's move into football. Crazy week of football, injury-fested football last week. Just
man,
if you were betting and you won money, just be happy because it was a rough weekend. I did go to Louisiana, put some bets in. None of the parlays hit, but a lot of my straight bets did hit. First game, Broncos-Chiefs, I don't have much to say about that game. Broncos looked cool. Chiefs looked cool. Broncos looked terrible. You guys got anything on that one?
I was totally wrong about Russell Wilson. He fucking sucks. Like, he make
wiener water.
I sat here and had the nerve to say that he could be MVP. Man, what the fuck was I thinking, dog?
He's definitely not MVP, but I didn't say I feel like it's sabotage over there in Denver, man. Like, it's just no way. Like Sean Payton is calling the games the way he's calling them, man. If you look at Russ' stats, they really not that bad. Like, well, until this last game where he threw, a few interceptions. I don't know. He's not playing that bad. It's definitely not MVP ball, but I would love to see Russ in Atlanta, man. I don't know. That's just me, though. But whatever. I know
better than Ritter.
Sometimes you don't get 3 chances in this league. To Harley, sometimes you can get 2. So.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It's just they look bad. I don't think it's Russ. I think it has more to do with the play calling. It's not working. Like he's thinking Russ is Drew Brees, and he's not. Like it's not that way. You got to work around what Russ's, what his talents are. He's able to be mobile when he can. Make it. But I also think that like he's not as good as everybody thinks he is. I feel like he's good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good, but Seattle saved him with that defense over there. Those years he was there. So I feel like we might be seeing the real Russ. This could be the real Russ. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't know, but I ain't taking it that far. But he ain't.
Man,
some years
I'm
where he
coming
was
to Knicks.
good. Seattle, you tripping, but I hear you.
You put Russell Wilson next to Bijan Robinson right now, and you get him out the pocket, and you see that them guys have been open and making plays. Atlanta will appreciate Russell Wilson if he's used the way I think that they would use him, like the way just using the way that they're using Ritter.
Yeah.
Like, don't do nothing
Ritter the
extraordinary.
shitter.
Bring in Russ to do what Ritter's doing, and I promise you, Russ hits those dudes.
Yeah.
Ritter just is like, oh man, he's awful.
Outside
Next
of
game. Go ahead, Joe.
I said outside of that Detroit game, Atlanta could be easily 4-1.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll get to Atlanta in a bit. Next game was Ravens at Titans, London game. I think I did pick Titans -4. I don't know if I wound up switching it because one of you guys said it was in London. I don't remember my pick
Yeah, you
last
did.
week,
You
but I
went
think
with the
I
Ravens.
switched
You
and
went
I
with the
switched to the Ravens. Lamar looks all right. You know, the Ravens are just playing gritty football. They're doing what they're doing. They're kind of under the radar as usual. You know, 4-2, have a chance to win that division if they just keep doing what they're doing. And nobody's really talking about them. They have a really good coach in Harbaugh. They have Lamar, one of the best playmakers in football. Flowers is having a big year. Odell up and down. And they're fighting through injuries, and they're still winning. So I like what the Ravens are doing.
Yeah. I like what they're doing too. They're just inconsistent, man. The Steelers lost. I get it. It was a division game, but you got to go in there and win that. But outside of that, it's the Titans. Like, you want to talk about another team that's a quarterback away. Titans got run game. They got D-Hop looks fine. Tannehill just is over, man. Like, he is beyond washed. Like, he's in the same category as Mac Jones washed. Like, it's like it's
No.
it's bad for Tannehill, bro.
Shots at my Patriots?
Look, bro, the Titans don't even want to play Willis. That's how bad Willis is, bro. Willis is terrible, but they have no choice. Tannehill's so bad, bro. Like,
Tannehill just got hurt. He's been fine. He's a game manager, man. He's not nothing special.
I thought they had 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
Yeah, they do.
Willis is terrible, bro.
Tannehill, and then who's the other one? Didn't they pick up some dude from North Carolina or Duke? What was it?
Oh, they drafted
Oh yeah, they did.
Will Levis or Levi's.
Will Levis,
I don't know how
They
you
need
say
to
his
go ahead
name.
and let him play and try some.
Hey, for real.
Tannehill
then
got
again,
hurt, so they might have a decision to make this week. After that, it was Commanders at Falcons, and this is a game I thought the Falcons were going to take control of and win. Ritter has never lost at home. That was the narrative all week that Vegas put out there, and boom, they lose, of course.
Shit on.
Hey, real quick, G, how do they find a stat after all those damn games? Like, why didn't we hear that the last time he was at home? It just randomly come out. Like, what?
The mob bosses, man. They got everybody. They got everybody, man.
Everybody, bro.
Hey, always.
Man.
It happens like that.
Bait. It's them bait narratives
Dobson
gonna
beat
get you every
that.
time. But I will say this about the Falcons. You, despite Ritter throwing 3 picks, you did call Ritter and DFS to have, and London, and they hit value plus some. They were solid plays despite the 3 picks he threw. So good call on that. I didn't really catch much of this game. Vince, did you see much of the Commanders Falcons?
No, that's probably the only time the Bears was letting me down. I had Commanders in a parlay. I just had a feeling that Ritter was stinking up against the Commanders defense. But I can't speak to the game, to be honest.
Chuck?
Washington, their defense is really bad. Like, if Ritter was a good quarterback, he could have had a career game. Atlanta had that ball. Look at the time of possession of that game. I want to almost say Atlanta had the ball. It might have been like 3 or 4 possessions to 1 in the fourth quarter. Like, they just couldn't. They would get down the red zone. Ritter would just throw a pick. He would just he would just do something dumb every chance he got. Like, it was like, bro, you trying to lose this game? Like, I don't know what more you got to see in Atlanta to be like, we need a quarterback. Let's go get somebody, man. Like, what are we doing? The defense is legit, like, for real. Like, the offense, they got weapons. Like, go get a quarterback, man. Like, What's my guy name from San Fran that played for Dallas now that backs up Dak?
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Just go get him. Why not? Let's go experiment. Let's
I
go.
don't know if Lance's answer, but Vince is probably on the right path. If Broncos are going nowhere fast with Russ, so why not take a shot and give up
that contract?
I mean, I don't think Broncos can ask for much if Atlanta reaches out to him. You
got to be quick though, man. Atlanta has a good team outside of the quarterback position.
Yeah, for sure. Next game on the slate. I'll let you start this one off. It's Vikings at Bears.
He put his hand up.
Frazier starts laughing.
But it's tough, man. It's tough times because essentially, right? Like I was telling G this at the locker room. Shout out to the locker room. The season's over with, right? It's Bears fans just went through, one of the worst seasons in the team's history. And at the quarter mark, or a little bit after the quarter mark of the season is over already. To talk about the game, man, I'm at a loss of words, man. The Vikings tried to. I tweeted this. I'm sure you guys seen it. The Vikings tried to give the Bears the game. The Vikings are. I don't know if they're trying to tank for Caleb Williams. I don't know if they're completely over Kirk Cousins or what. But they were literally say, "Here, Chicago Bears, take the game," and the Bears said,
"We don't want it."
Yeah. And so we lost Justin. People might call me crazy for saying that I think there's a possibility we win that game with Justin Fields. I don't see why can't he make those plays that Bayesian kid made at the end of that game? And our defense played superb. We just at the end of the game when we had dudes wide open, quarterback threw up a chucker. You know what I mean? And so it's unfortunate, man. The Bears got a lot of questions to answer. That could be, I won't say his last game as a Bear because he could come back from this injury for sure. But it could be his last important game of his career as a Bear. So for Justin Fields, so that's really all I got, man. The Bears I guess they are who y'all said they were, ass. So it is what it is.
Chuck,
man. Man,
don't get me wrong. I played Fields this week on FanDuel, and I didn't play him on DraftKings, but I played him on FanDuel in my double up lineups, and he was high on. The matchup was great. He was at home. But by the second quarter, you just knew before he got hurt. I was like, this ain't the
you
just.
You could see it coming. You could see it. You could see it coming that he was going to get hurt. He got banged. He got. Hit pretty crazy. Damn, I'm going. That's wild. That's twice. Jesus Christ.
That's good. Look, it's already enough on Justin Fields. Just let it be, dog. Just let it be.
Anyway,
Don't let it Frazier get it, dog.
but like Chuck said, man, you could see the injury. You just see it coming. He was getting hit every play.
Yep.
But to just really speak on Fields, because I feel like I maybe put him up a little bit too high.
A little bit.
His clock is just bust. But the thing about it is though, he has all the tools. His internal clock is just busted as fuck. And it's sad to see, man, because that's not coaching, that's not personnel, that's not scheme, that's organization. Because only an organization can constantly get quarterbacks and ruin the fuck out of them. And and with that, I want all NFL fans to hear me out when I say this. You guys should be thanking the Bears. On y'all knees thanking us that we didn't draft Patrick Mahomes. Because if we drafted Patrick Mahomes, I'll die on this hill. He would not be Patrick Mahomes. He'd be a quarterback that's been sacked 90 times, or whatever the hell the number is, since Justin Fields has been in the league, and y'all be calling him a bum. Probably would have been out the league already because he doesn't have those physical traits that maybe gave Justin Fields an additional year anyway. So just thank us, man, that we didn't ruin some of these quarterbacks you guys see today, and it's only been,
Hey, real quick, I gotta go get something from the front door, but real quick, I want to leave out with this. I'll be right back. I just got 2 seconds. But do you think he looks kind of not interested the past couple games? I never noticed it, but I started watching the replays. Like he'll throw a touchdown pass and he'll just be like,
That's just his
"Do you
demeanor.
think he wants to be there?"
I mean,
Yeah.
probably so because that's who drafted him. But at the same
Exactly.
time,
Really kind of
if you watch the Bears, he has a second to throw the ball and gets smacked.
Exactly.
He was getting roughed up all game. So it's like, how many quarterbacks are going to be happy in that situation? You know, I've seen good quarterbacks go from having a good O-line to a bad O-line. It's night and day. And it's not talked about enough. You know, a lot of people, we troll and we say this and that when we're watching quarterbacks, but the reality of it is if the O-line isn't good and the O-line isn't blocking, not a lot of quarterbacks are going to succeed in this league. And,
Exactly.
you know, it showed last week with Fields for sure. Again, I mean, the O-line sucked. I mean, as he's throwing the ball, he's getting hit. His arm's getting hit, and it's a pick. If somebody's just looking up his stats, they're like, oh, he threw another pick this week.
Mhm.
But they didn't watch the game, you know what I mean? So
Didn't
when you
watch the
see it
game.
on film, it's different. That's all I got to say about quarterback play in general and what Fields is kind of going through. I think Vince did gas him up a little more than he needed to. But, you know, that's
But
what we
I
do
will-
as fans.
But what I will say though is that it's just strange things in Chicago, Illinois. Like the last 2 weeks against the Commanders and the Denver game where we we played well offensively. We had I don't even know the exact number, but the number of play action passes, moving the pocket, rolling them out, and things like that is just significantly higher than it was against Minnesota. Like it was like two play action passes. When that's what's been working in the last 2 weeks. It's just it still should have won the game. That's football though. We don't have to keep talking about the Bears. I can talk about the Bears all night.
Next game, Seattle at Bengals. Bengals wind up squeezing it out. Not a great game to watch. I caught some of it. Burrow's looking better for sure. Gino didn't have his greatest game from what I'm seeing. I didn't catch all of it. I see he threw 2 picks, but then again, that's just me looking at the stat sheet. He threw for 323. I didn't catch a lot of it. I caught a little bit of it. I know Chase started off hot, and then Seattle kind of locked up. Higgins didn't do much. Chuck, what you think about this Bengals-Seattle game? I think you watch more of that than me.
Yeah, it was weird because Bengals started off hot. So did Seattle. You thought it was going to be a shootout, then it just snooze fest. I don't know. Gino looked bad. Burrow looked average. I don't know. That was just a weird game. I don't know what it was, but you also got to think about it. You got a West Coast team traveling over here to the East Coast. So I think that had to play a part in it. And I think Seattle will get back scoring a lot of points this week versus Arizona. But I don't really know. I mean, like, Bengals needed a win. They got what they needed, but I don't really know what to take from it. Both teams look super average.
It was definitely weird because it's 2 defenses that so far haven't looked good, and it was so low scoring. So God bless if you took the over in that game. Vince?
Yeah, no, I think I mentioned it last week. It's just a game. Like, the Bengals couldn't afford to lose that game. So I didn't watch much of it, but I expected them to win.
Frazier?
Didn't see it. So I really ain't got no take on it. I didn't watch
You didn't miss much. And, not to get off track, but football, I'll be the first one to tell everyone, football hasn't been as hype as I wanted it to be this year.
Not
and it's
this
like
year.
a lot of games like that where you're excited for, a 27-28 thriller, and it's just been a stinker. And prime time has been horrible, but I'm not going to complain. Next game on the slate, probably upset of the week. There's a couple. Niners go into Cleveland, play against PJ Walker, and lose. Purdy finally looked human. Browns were bringing a lot of pressure and a lot of different looks. I think Browns ran a lot of man-to-man and just forced Purdy to make some tough throws. This guy, Myles Garrett, threw Trent Williams out of the way. I've never seen anything like it. Bro, never seen anything like it. But big win for the Browns for, division contention. Frazier had to dip early today, so he didn't watch much football last week anyway, so we aren't going to miss much. But Purdy got them in position at the end of the game, missed field goal, and that's the way it ended.
Yeah, Cleveland's defense is for real. They just still have problems with the offense, and you gotta you can't give them great, but they lost Chubb. That's just hard to replace. Because you could just manage games like that. But Cleveland has a for real defense. I don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson and his arm, but you could kind of see like when we were on the pod last week, we were talking about, hey, you like Niners with the points, and then we had to think about it like, damn, we really can't. Like if Watson was in, we would have took the Browns with the points, but he was out. He's like, it's no way I could bet on PJ Walker or the other guy if they would have started the other guy, but. Shit, that defense is for real, man. And you saw it. You saw it Sunday, and another West Coast team coming over here. Like that shit. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but that shit matters.
Yeah.
When you travel like that, like my bad. When you travel like when you travel like that, and then think about it. Seattle. Just to go back real quick to Seattle and come right back. Seattle played the Giants, right, in New York. Then they went to Cincinnati, right. This is being on the road, man. You're not at home. You're not comfortable. Like, it's a different vibe going to someone else's home stadium, and especially when you 4 or 5 hours away.
Yeah, I think they had they were undefeated on the road, right? Until then,
Yep.
Until that game, yeah. Then they went to Detroit and got a win, but Cleveland is a weird team. That division is weird. I think at first I wanted to just automatically give it to Baltimore. But now I'm like, man, Baltimore, you know, I don't know who was saying it, but I finally got to really look at Baltimore because I've been up early as hell on Sundays and, you know, watch that London game, which, by the way, I prefer over Thursday. But anyway, the Ravens, man, they're doing well, but they just look average. Like, they don't look as good as, you know, Kansas City has this year or the Dolphins. Like, it's nothing cute about their game. That's never been the Ravens, right? But with all these weapons that Lamar has, you know, been given, you would think that you know, this would be a runaway. So I say all that to say, the Browns, man, they got a chance if Watson can get it together. I say he might get benched by like week 8. I still think there's a chance. Like if the injuries and stuff keep up, but in terms of the betting, man, that's just hard. It's heartbreaking, man. Like that missed kick, which was really right down the middle, just killed a zillion tickets. You know, like just instantly, like just. And so that's just nasty. I think the Niners are fine. That's a hard team. You know, it's hard to go win in the dog pound, especially when Debo gets hurt, Christian McCaffrey gets hurt. So nothing.
And man, news came out. Not to cut you off, news came out. Trent Williams was in a walking boot. I think he's going to be all right. Last I saw, but the reason he didn't want to come out the game because he knew the backup left tackle wouldn't be able to handle Myles Garrett. So they definitely had some injuries, and who knows if C-Mac's playing next week. I think it's up in the air. Debo's up in the air, so we may really see what Brock Purdy's made of if he's without them two. And if Trent Williams is out, that's huge. Yeah, that's like
talk about having some confidence in your teammate. He said, "I know he can handle Myles Garrett." Jesus, like whoa!
Well, I don't think he said it like that. He's like, I didn't want to put him in that position. I think he's a rookie. I want to say it's a young player, and he didn't want to. I mean, first game you're going to put him out there versus Myles Garrett, so he's just trying to be a good teammate, which I respect.
That makes sense.
Panthers at Dolphins. Panthers go up 14-0. Everyone's like, there goes all my tickets because I'm sure Dolphins money line was in a bunch of things. Dolphins lock up. They fight back. Look like the Dolphins, 2 or 3 TDs. Mostert, chalk, hit 2 TDs. If you didn't play Mostert in fantasy last week, I don't know what to say, man. You could have got cute and been like, I don't think you had to play Mostert last week. It was the easiest chalk of the year.
Yeah.
A good comeback by the Dolphins, but no surprise in that game.
Not much to say about that. I'm a bad Chuck.
No, you good. You good.
Panthers, thank you for the number 1 pick. And Dolphins, man, they're fun, man, like in the sense that like whether you're betting or if you just want to watch, like they're going to score some points. And they're going to do it in some, and their plays are going to be exciting. So I will shout out to the Dolphins, man, for an NFL season that's been like just kind of dry and boring. The Dolphins have really, answered that call with, by scoring points and making it fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. This team, if like, don't get me wrong, like, I think the Dolphins are a good team, but when they play bad teams, man, do they like to show off? Like they can just score. But it's all like, and I mean, like you expected them to win. Even when they was up 14-0, I was like, oh, they're gonna come back. Now they gotta just play a little faster. They did, and they ended up coming back and beating the hell out of them. But what are the Dolphins gonna do when they play a team like the Bills again, or when they play a team like the Chiefs, where they can't score 30, 40 points? Like they're gonna lose every dogfight they're in because that's just not they just don't play like that. They're a finesse. You know what they remind me of? NBA. They remind me of the Houston Rockets, the way the Houston Rockets played when James Harden was there. No D.
Live by the 3, die by the 3.
First one to 120. That just don't. It just don't. It's not. Don't go. I mean, it's fun to watch. But man, let's be real, bro. Playoffs come. You play the Niners, man. Tyreek gonna have 3 catches for 30 yards. They just not gonna play that shit. Let's be real, bro. Good coaches, good teams gonna take him completely out the picture, bro. Like it's just they're good. They're fun. They probably get a playoff seed, but it's just gonna be it's gonna be a first round exit, man. Like it just is.
It's a bold take. With that being said, that's a bold take with the way they're looking. With that being said, I have a question for you guys. Is Tua on MVP watch?
Yeah,
I think so.
Playing like 1 year.
I think he's on MVP watch because they're not going to play a lot of them top teams. So, his numbers are going to look great versus the mediocre teams.
Hey,
and he's playing really well, man.
Yeah, shout out to Tua for not taking these dumb hits anymore.
Yeah, for real.
Like, for real. My man knows how to get down. Just play smart. Ain't nothing wrong with dropping to the ground when you see a 260-pound linebacker running straight at you. You don't have to run out of bounds or go heads up. Just drive. Be smart.
Next game on the slate, Colts at Jags. Minshew came back down to earth. Jags handle business in the division game. ETN's having a big year. I don't know what really did in this game. But Jags did what they had to do. I don't really have much to say about it, but I think they're going to start taking control of that division and maybe go on a little run here. Not sure they play next week. Oh, they play the Saints Thursday. Maybe not because Trevor Lawrence is hurt. So
not even that. Houston is playing good football.
Yeah, Houston is. I just if I'm laying the money down and saying, do I want to bet on the Jags or Houston? I think Jags is the easy choice right now. But Houston's definitely playing well. And then I forgot Trevor Lawrence is banged up. Pause. I don't know. You can't say nothing in 2023, dog. You can't say nothing. But anyway, he's hurt, so we don't know if he's playing Thursday versus the Saints. But if he's healthy, I like the Jags.
Yeah, is Derek Carr back?
I think he's hurt too.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. But I think,
Nah, I'm not sure. To be honest.
This is bad, bro. Jameis might be worse. Jameis is worse.
Nah, it matters if Carr's out there. I'm just joking.
Yeah, like he's not good. But he's kind of like who can I compare him to? I hate to say Jared Goff, but I think when he's in there, he can manage the game.
Bro,
yeah, same guy.
Wow.
I mean, same guy.
Spider-Man. Hey, the Spider-Man meme or what, man?
What, you said the same thing?
Spider-Man meme?
Jared Goff got playoff wins has been to a Super Bowl, bro. Come on, man. The Goff disrespect.
So Derek Carr couldn't have taken that Rams team to the Super Bowl with all them people.
The shit, dog. All he gotta do is keep winning. He just gonna keep winning, bro.
I remember Jared Goff that year. But he went to Chicago and threw 4 picks. Like but they scored 3 points in the Super Bowl. Like that's Jared Goff with Gurley and all the weapons. Like I don't know.
This is what I think we need to do. We need to have a moment of silence for Rams Jared Goff. That guy's gone. He doesn't.
We'll get to him. We'll get to the Lions. I know you're excited with that goofy ass hat on. Let's stay on topic.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
We're on Colts Jags. We're on Colts Jags.
Oh yeah. Colts are done. That sucks for Ant Rich.
Yeah, it's tough.
They're not talking about like not taking hits and things like that. that's one guy who I feel like he's in a tough spot because his athleticism is what's going to make him, different, right? It's like, he's big, he's a big body and pretty fast. So that all that and he can pass the ball. So it's tough trying to tell a guy like that, oh, just slide or don't take those hits. So sucks for the Colts and for the Jags. I don't know, man. Like I think the Texans have a legit shot. I really do. Jacksonville hasn't looked like just a world beater of a team, man. Like they're winning games, and that's all that matters. Winning is all that matters at the end of the day. But I think how Chuck talks about the Dolphins is kind of how Jacksonville is. Like I think anybody could come out there and beat Jacksonville on any Sunday. But yeah, that's all I got on that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, I feel like you're right. That's how I feel about Jacksonville. I feel the same way I feel about the Dolphins. They play these games where like they should beat the Colts with Gardner Minshew, but then it's like I just feel like they could just go out there and get beat by 30 by the Chiefs. Like they're just in that division, which is a bad division, and I wouldn't be surprised if Houston string it together either, and just because I think right now I think Stroud's a better QB than Trevor Lawrence.
Whoa.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean the stats will say it, but
Stroud is the
gonna
best
say
QB in that draft, bro. Like that was crazy. Like he just looks like he belongs in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. My buddy LT, we thought Stroud would be the best quarterback out of that group. I think he's playing the best, but I'm not going to take him over T-Law just yet. Now in a year or two, maybe we could have that combo. I think Lawrence had a big year last year, and I'm not ready to say Stroud. I'm putting Stroud over him if I'm making a QB list. That's all.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's totally fair.
Next game, Saints at Texans. So pretty good transition. Speaking of Stroud, that's a nice win versus a good defense for him. I know Kamara let you down in DFS, Chuck. I thought he was going to do his thing as well. He didn't.
Yeah.
Carr, typical 300-plus game. What did he pass for a touchdown, 1 pick? I don't really watch this game because I think I was watching mostly Bears and the Dolphins, keeping up with DFS stuff. Yeah. So I didn't see much of it. I can't really speak on it, but I'm assuming Stroud looks good. He threw 2 TDs, right?
Yeah. He looks good, and they got a true number one over there in Nico Collins. I said it on the very first podcast that Nico Collins was their number one. He was going to have a breakout season. He just looks like a number one receiver. And then you got to think about it. Tank Dell didn't play. I mean, Robert Woods caught the touchdown. Like they got a legit threat. They got legit threats on offense to like if you see the Texans first round, you like. I mean, like you kind of like as a like a better. You're like, damn, like you see I don't know who they would play first round, but you see him like with +7. You like low key like. Rookie on the road, nothing to lose. Like I think the Texans got a little noise and sneaking that division and getting the playoff spot. They look good, man.
I think they would have to win the division. I don't think 2 teams coming from the South. Could be wrong. If I had to guess, they would have to win that division. I think they can too.
Yeah.
My bad. Bunch of texts coming through about sports, and Philly's starting about an hour, I think. Right, so I'm a little distracted. I'm dialed in, man. I'm fired up. Next game, Patriots at Raiders. We feel like we have this combo every week about the Patriots. They are done. They're on Caleb Williams' watch. Raiders at a sneaky 3-3. Max Crosby is a game wrecker. It's official. I think we probably could have called him that already, but week in and week out, this guy is just making plays, and he's putting himself up there. I think it's safe to say you could put him with the TJ Watt category now. TJ Watt, Parsons, I'm putting him in there because what he's doing every Sunday or Monday is insane. Jimmy G got hurt. Don't know how much that matters with the Raiders, but nice win for them. They should have beat the Patriots, and they did.
Yeah. yeah, y'all don't really got too much to say about this game. Do you think if Derek Carr would have stayed,
No.
or I'm not even gonna ask the question. So it wouldn't matter who's at quarterback. Well, out of those guys, right? But I mean, like, if you look at it on paper, you like, man, you got a all-star DN, stud at DN. You got the defense. I mean, the defense is, I guess, it's coming together. But you got Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Jacoby Myers. You're looking at that team like Garoppolo. Get it together, bro. They got action. Like they have a good team. They just need Garoppolo to get it together. But like you said, they beat the Patriots. They should have beat the Patriots. They playing for Caleb Williams, who looked real Dakish this past Saturday. Real Dakish.
Hey,
No.
yo.
No, bro, he looked real Dakish.
I caught some of the end of the game, and
he was looking super Dakish. I was like, I don't know. But I mean, like, yeah, Caleb Williams sweepstakes, I guess. But
pressure. That's what pressure does.
Man, they're gonna make you draft him, but he didn't look like. I mean, it's like, okay, I'm not hating. No, don't get me wrong. He for sure the number one pick, but it's like it's one of those number one picks where you like, we just gotta take him. Ain't nobody else. So like, we need a quarterback. So you gotta trust the analytics, I guess. But yeah,
crowned him last week.
Huh?
You crowned him 2 weeks ago.
Who, Caleb Williams?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. But what I saw against Notre Dame, I was like, bro, who is this guy? Like that, he didn't have a bad game. He was fucking Ritter bad. Like that was terrible. Some of those picks, I'm like, dog, come on, bro. What are we doing? Like that's like that was the worst game I think he might have had on this planet Earth. Like that was terrible, bro. Like
and it's like I said, I think like scouts get fooled by numbers sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a receiver, it's open by 5 yards in college, and he throws a 60-yard touchdown. Good job, man. What are you gonna do when the pressure's on? And I'm not saying that's the end of everything for Caleb. I think he'll be a good quarterback still, but like Mahomes comparisons that early, just stop, man. Just stop.
Nah,
let the kid get drafted and do his thing in the league before we get to that.
He looked just like that. Like everything about him.
I'm not going to go that far, but Vince, you got anything on the Patriots Raiders?
No, I don't have anything. When I look back, and it's always, hindsight or 50-50, whatever. I don't know what the hell the phrase is, but when you're gambling and you go back to the game, you just wish you just bet on. That's the game I wish I just bet on, like Raiders over Patriots, and just enjoy my Sunday afternoon. So, Patriots stink. Who knows what happens with the bill and that whole situation? And Raiders, strange team. They can't run the ball, which is weird to me. If they can get their run game going, as bad as Jimmy Garoppolo is, he can string together some passes, because he's also made it to the Super Bowl. Chuck likes to talk about quarterbacks who made Super Bowls. Jimmy Garoppolo made a Super Bowl. Quarterback is just he's one player, and so. If they can get the run game going, Max Crosby is going to probably get about 15, 16 sacks. Yeah, they're not. They would have to definitely be a wild card because they're not going to catch the Chiefs. But who knows? Yeah, I think they're fighting for second with the Chargers and maybe a wild card spot.
Next game, Cardinals at Rams. Rams have a bounce back week. I know maybe episode 1 or 2, I did say look out for Kupp to be that guy again this year if he's healthy. I know he started off hurt, but it's official. Kupp is back in the combo for fantasy god receiver. Might need to play him every week in DFS just because of his target share. And with Stafford looking, reverting back to his old self a little bit, and Puka emerging, and Tutu Atwell and Kyron Williams, unfortunately he got hurt. They got a nice little offense over there, and not as much has to lean on Cooper Kupp. And nice win for them. And I'll be playing Kupp every week in DraftKings. Simple as that.
Every week.
Yeah, I don't have much about that game. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch a snap. So I'm like Frazier in that regard. But as if they get that win, is it? And let's say San Francisco injuries start to pile on. Instead, they maybe Debo's out for a couple of weeks, maybe C-Max out for a couple of weeks. Are we talking about the Rams maybe possibly making this division a race? Because I like where the Rams are at, man. I don't know. I just know San Francisco's too good. I'm just saying, okay. I just know San Fran's banked
That's
up.
why I'm giving you my answer.
I'm not saying that San Francisco is about to go into some slump or anything like that. I know that they sustained some injuries, and that receiving core. If you take away Debo Samuels and Ayuk tweaks ankle, or I don't know if Purdy can hold the ship. And because they just lost to PJ Walker. Like, let's really think about it. Like, that should never happen. And so
yeah, right.
I think that if there's some chinks in the armor now, if those injuries pile up, and the Rams, I'm not saying they're great, but they're going to win games. So I don't know. NFC West isn't as locked as it was maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, I agree with Vince. So this is another thing. Like, you don't think McVay? You don't think they talk about blowing it up after last year? Like, they must have saw something this year because like they're in games, they're fighting. Like, they're like, wait a minute, that's the best running back. That dude, was it Kyron Williams?
Yeah,
I always put his name up. Yeah, he looks legit, and you get cut back, and then Puka, man, what a find! Like, and then you got Tutu Atwell, and you got Higbee. The offense is legit. Stafford can slang.
What?
And then they just got to get the D right. You still got the dog on defense.
Pause.
Hey, yo, man! Pause, man!
Oh.
Hey, yo. Hey.
Bro.
Whoa! I'm saying now, mine wasn't that bad.
Bro.
Double homicide. He said slang him and then they got some D. I was like, try not. Hey, Chuck, I didn't even say nothing that time. I just was like, whoa. I was like,
I gotta put myself on fucking pause time. Jesus.
It's like, God damn.
That might
wowzers.
Ooh, that was rough, dog. Knock on wood on that pause. Jesus, man. But, yeah, like, I'm with Vince, though. I do think the Rams, they got some action. Because think about this. We act like Christian McCaffrey don't get hurt every year. Knock on wood, not wishing, I'm just saying. He gets hurt. Debo gets hurt. I'm just saying, like, injuries can change it. Injuries can change you from first to last in a heartbeat, man. So, like, I just wouldn't be surprised if 3 weeks from now we looking at the Rams like, they right there and a chance to win that division.
I would agree with that if these were like season long injuries, but they seem to be like maybe 1 week, 2 week injuries. Now, Trent Williams is out for a substantial amount of time. That we're talking different now because this guy's the best left tackle in football. If McCaffrey's out for a long time, it's a different combo. But from my knowledge, I don't think these are big time injuries. Now, if it turned into that, yeah, I think we could have the combo like, what's Purdy going to do without all them weapons the rest of the year? But I don't think they're up against the wall like that. Not yet. They're still 5-1, but definitely an ugly loss first.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. McCaffrey should play, they said this week. Yeah, they're playing. Like, they should. McCaffrey should play. And who was the other injury?
Trent Williams, Debo.
They say Debo and McCaffrey should play. Nothing on he could play Monday, and nothing about Debo or Trent Williams yet.
Next game, I don't even want to talk about it. Eagles at Jets, another upset on the slate. If you bet Philly, sorry. Just an ugly game, man. This is one of the ugliest games I watched from the Eagles as a team. I don't even want to say as a team, as an offense, because the defense played as well as they could and gave the offense plenty of chances. Devontae Smith had 2 big drops that is not like him. AJ did his thing. Swift, I was praising him when he caught that touchdown pass. I want to say the next drive he fumbled, and Chuck just, Chuck's a Swift hater, so he got on me about that. Hurts, not his greatest game. I think Hurts' first pick was a screen to Goddard, which was a perfect play call versus an overload blitz. Goddard catches it, turns upfield, and you just got to give credit to the Jets defender for popping that ball out. and it turns into an interception. Hurts' second pick, there was some pressure. If you look at the film, he probably should have checked it down to Goddard, but what he saw may have been open. I didn't see the all 22. His arm gets hit, ball goes over there, and it's pick close to the scoring range. Can't have those. And then the last pick for Hurts was just rookie stuff, man. I haven't seen Hurts make a decision that bad. After I got up on air and praised him last week for decision making, and then he does that to pretty much end the game. A tough way to lose. Jake Elliott misses a field goal. Just a sloppy game for the Eagles, and I was definitely disappointed because no way we lose that. But hey, you got one or two of them a year, so I wasn't like too down about it. It just sucks. It's a vibe kill, especially when you go outside for the first time in a while during football season and your team lost. But you guys catch any of that game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know Vince was next to me watching it.
But I think, I said this last week, man. There's some questions about the Philadelphia Eagles passing game. And can Jalen Hurts consistently, when there's pressure, can he deliver? And I don't even know if it's necessarily Jalen Hurts. Let me not even make it about Jalen Hurts. Because I know you guys got a new offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, Brian Johnson.
Yeah, so with new coordinators, maybe it's just it's just gonna take some time. But just the passing game, he's made some big throws, but as you can see, he struggled against the Jets, who have a pretty good pass defense. And so I'm curious to see how that Eagles passing game evolves over the course of the season. I think he's going to because I'm a fan of Hurts, but to me, it's looked shaky. So, in its totality. And then the Jets, let me ask you this. What you guys, or you guys can answer this later, but what you guys think about Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball before the game already?
I saw that. It's good that he's on his feet. It would be crazy if these guys somehow made the playoffs and he tried to make a comeback. I didn't think it was possible for someone to come back from an Achilles that fast, especially you're a quarterback, so if a team's going to pressure you, you're going to have to move.
Yeah.
But Zach Wilson, I mean, he's kind of holding it down. He got sacked a lot, but the Eagles are just really screaming. I don't know. I think Rodgers is trying to do the impossible.
Yeah.
Chuck?
Yeah, what you said, Rodgers trying to do the impossible. And if it get to 80, 85% and they get a wild card, guarantee you he's playing that quarterback. Let's just be real. He ain't missing it for the world. But I always say this. This is why but I don't play. Like, I think about it, but then I don't do it because I know this is where quarterbacks go to die is when they play the Jets. Mahomes had his worst game of the season here. For some reason, the Jets they're just really good at home. Am I surprised the Eagles lost? No, but I'm surprised the way they lost. That makes sense. Like, I can see
it. Was sloppy.
Yeah, it was just sloppy. And then the pick I'm surprised the way. Like, I could see the Jets just getting a fluke drive and kicking a game-winning field goal like that, but not the Hurts pick. Like, I didn't see that. I didn't think he would make that bad of a read in that moment. But the Eagles will be fine, man. This the one to wake you up a little bit. They get it right. I'm not worried about the Eagles at all. But let's talk about the Jets for real. The Jets, they keep grinding these games out, and they can hang on, and they get an 80% Rodgers. You really don't want to play a team that ain't got nothing to lose in the first round of playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. Back against the wall. I mean,
and then I really get home. You got to think about they beat the Eagles and the Bills at home this year, bro, and almost beat Mahomes if they had a quarterback. Like, they beat two good teams at home without Aaron Rodgers. They're just a good home team. It's tough to play them in New York every week.
Yeah, and I will say this with the Eagles did get pressured, but to me, there's a difference between pressure and not having a chance. And when Lane Johnson went out, I talked about Trent Williams going out. When Lane Johnson went out, you just saw how good of a player he is.
Oh, my God.
I mean, Driscoll was getting just drove into Hurts, and Hurts was still kind of bouncing out of the pocket and trying to make plays. And I think on that last pick, that's the result of that clock in your head. Like, I know I don't have the time, and you're just he's off balance, trying to fit it in the window that wasn't there. Just no excuse on that last pick. But The Eagles looked fine when Lane was in there. I mean, they were in control of the game.
Yeah.
What I didn't like is like the coordinator, he didn't really try to establish the run, and that's the Eagles' bread and butter. They're not a drop back and pass 60 times team. They're a gritty. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to get out of this game. And it didn't work out that way. Shout out to the Jets defense; they balled out.
Yeah. Real quick, and we talk about the Julio pickup. They picked him up immediately after that game for a reason, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the reason was. So I think Rappaport said he is getting signed to the practice squad to probably just ramp him up to speed. Then they'll sign him to the 53-man roster. I was telling one of my friends, they were like, "Why Julio?" I'm like, I mean, if he's going to be a fourth option, I don't hate it. The guy can probably play slot receiver better than Quez, who's on IR now, and Zacchaeus. I don't even know how to say the other guy that's playing slot, but you never know. If a guy has a little bit left in the tank, he's a veteran receiver. He played with AJ Brown, so maybe they brought him in for some leadership, mentor. I don't know, but the last we saw Julio, he didn't look like Julio. So I'm not gonna get my hopes up. Like, oh, we got Julio. It's cool. It's a cool signing. So we'll see what happens with it.
It was Tannehill.
I mean, if he still got it, then the Eagles shouldn't lose. They shouldn't lose. But he's 34, man, and
yeah,
he's probably done.
He's going to throw some shade on Tannehill.
Oh man! All right, last game of the afternoon slate: Lions at Bucks. Lions defense continues the ball. Goff looked really good. This is one of his better games, and I thought the Bucks would hang in there and have a pretty good game. It was like when we were in the bar, it was the screen. It was all the way across the bar, so I tried to catch as much of it as I could. I know the Lions were converting a lot of third downs, which when you're doing that, it results to extended drives and good football. So, Chuck, I'll let you take it from here.
Let me sit up for this one. Wow. Everybody counting us out against the Bucks. Don't get me wrong, Bucks, they got a pretty decent team over there. But man, like I said it last week on the podcast. I said if it's one thing this defense is built for, it's to just completely bag quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield. They like to play like that. Like they just don't have to. You don't have to blitz with. We have a really good pass rush, so we don't have to worry about quarterbacks like that. Unless like Lamar gonna be a problem this week, just because you just can't drop him back on Lamar like that and he just take off and run. But this showed a lot about the Lions. We lost David Montgomery. Stop, Izzy. We lost David Montgomery. We don't have two of our best defensive players. Gardner out for the season. And we lost what's the other? I forgot his name. Oh, it's my mind go blank.
Fake fan.
My mind be going blank. Who'd you say, Vince? Ranch, yeah. Our depth is crazy, or is it the scheme? Like, I'm not trying to get Aaron Glenn all that credit, but we have a deep squad, bro. Like, I'm deeper than everyone think, man. I'm telling you, bro. But the Montgomery loss, Gibbs was hurt, didn't play this week, and we still went in Tampa 1. I mean,
that's a good win.
I don't know what else we got to do, bro. Like, we by far we're the best team in the NFC North. That's facts right now, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I was completely wrong about the Vikings winning the division. They're trash.
Comfortably.
Comfortably. You were right about that. Yeah, Lions got that. And we're going to get a first-round playoff game, and I think it's going to be at home.
Yeah, I think so. Lions look good. Lions, and they passed really well last game. But I was talking to you off stream or off camera. Lions run the ball and they stop the run, and if you could do that in this league, it's a formula for success, and it will take you a far way. Now, when you start playing defense like the Lions, now you're looking at a team that may go further than what some people thought.
Yeah.
I want to see what they do this week. I think last week was a really good win, and I'm questioning why are they 3-point dogs. I know Ravens are good, but why are they 3-point dogs? Like, to me, that should be almost maybe a pick 'em. So the line itself worries me. And if I'm looking at this, like the hot Detroit Lions, let me just take the money line. So I'm curious to see what they do based off this line. If I were betting, I would probably take the Lions, even though it's the wrong play by reading the line.
I'm gonna tell you why they underdog. I mean, they 3-point dogs right now because David Montgomery won't play. That's probably for sure. They already said he's probably. I'm not gonna say he's 100% out. He's more like 80% out. I don't think he plays. So that leaves you with an unproven rookie and Craig Reynolds at running back. But our O line is so good. It's like, but the Ravens do have a decent defense. They are really good at home, and we had problems with Mahomes week 1 with running like him. He was just killing us, like taking off. Like it's just the way they play defense is built for just Lamar to just have like his first 100-yard rushing game of the season. I hate to say it, but like, could we go in there and win? Of course, but like we could go in there and win for sure. But Vegas, I see why Vegas like the Ravens with the 3s because no David Montgomery's rough, man. But we could definitely go in there and win. But I mean. This one game I'm staying away from.
You're scared. You sound scared over there.
On the
Vince, Vince, you gave a little sigh. Let me let you get your.
I just want Chuck to believe in his Lions. That's all. I just want him to believe.
That's all. That's all.
Like I don't want to hear about we might lose and this and that. Take the betting out of it. We don't even got to talk about like that part of it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But just
I'm a purist, man. I got to keep it real.
No. Here's the problem. And then Vince didn't say it, but when you're in the group chat after Lions win, you're talking Super Bowl, you're talking Goff MVP, you're talking best team in the league. Then we get on camera, and it's a whole different tune. I don't know if we're gonna win. No Montgomery. So now injuries matter because when Kelsey and Chris Jones were out, injuries didn't matter. So you're saying go ahead.
I'm a purist. I got to keep it real for the people. Like I got to keep. Don't get me wrong, I'm a diehard Lions fan, but I got to keep it real. But we in the group chat. And Dan in there just hyping the Lions up. I gotta jump in. It's just funny, bro.
So you're just gassing them up,
huh?
So you're just gassing them up for the fun of it.
I be gassing them up because it's fun.
So I gotta clip that for the group chat now. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I told them I'll be gassing them up. They know I'll be gassing them up. If you told me the Lions played in Philly right now next week, but I just wouldn't bet on the game. I would watch it as a fan. I don't want no part of that game, right?
That'll be a good game.
It'd be a good game. I just don't want to bet on it. I'm not that sure. But they are.
Giants at Bills, just an ugly game. The Giants really should have won this game. Me and Vince are. Hey, Vince bet on the Bills. He left. He was like, "Bro, this is just disgusting football I'm watching," and it was just bad, man. And it makes me like regret saying the Bills are going to do what they're going to do this year with my prediction because I'm like, come on, guys, like to the Giants, 14-9 with Tyrod Taylor out there, like that should have been a 30-point win, and. It makes me think maybe Brian Daboll, trying to get some revenge for being revenge factor and just giving it his all. But I don't know. Like
Buffalo's been this way all year. Like they're 4-2, and the record is the record. But they just offensively they go into these lulls where it's just incomplete passes or Josh Allen just scrambling and chucking the ball up and stuff like that. And that stuff I told you guys, I said those weapons in Buffalo aren't the same weapons from 3 years ago. And I think that, as well as Gabe Davis has played this year and, although he doesn't have a bunch of touchdowns, Stephon Diggs has played well. They don't have that same juice. And so they don't have, with their defense, I think the rock of their team is their defense. But now they're facing all those injuries. So there's no Trey White. Von Miller is a shell of himself. They're going to have to score points. Like you're not going to beat Kansas City or Cincinnati Bengals or the Miami Dolphins scoring 17, 20 points unless you're playing lights out defense. And with those injuries, I don't know if they can continue to do that. So, I'm not going to discredit them because they did win, and they are 4-2. But I think my pick to win the AFC East right now is the Miami Dolphins. So,
I had the Bills winning the division, and I just think that was a blip. I just think they had a London hangover, got back home. I just think it was a London hangover. I think they'll be fine. But it was scary because
they'll be fine.
Yeah, they just played a Giants team with Tyrod Taylor. By the way, he looked better than Daniel Jones. To be honest with you, let's just
true.
100%.
100%.
But I don't like. Should they have won by more? Yeah, man, they got the Giants at home. But is this Giants team starting to turn a corner on defense? They play great defense the last week versus the versus Seattle. They just lost the game because Daniel Jones so fucking bad. Throwing a pick
Giants
six.
are 1-5, so I mean, even if they do, even if their defense does turn the corner,
They're done.
I mean,
They're
yeah,
Yeah, but the defense just could be playing better because they actually play good defense against Josh Allen and the Bills. But yeah, I'm with Vince, man. Like I hyped this team up earlier. Like I thought James Cook was a dog. Like he's still good, but like I
he's
don't know.
solid.
I just don't know. Is it the system where they just get in these offensive funks? Like Gabe Davis is a good receiver. They got 2 good tight ends. The running backs is good. Like why did Leonard Fournette visit them today? Like what? Like
Yeah.
like what? Like what are we doing? Like bro, like y'all are fine. Just gotta figure it out, man.
They don't have an identity. Like I don't know what their identity is. Like, do they want to be a run first team? Do they want to let Josh Allen, throw the ball 30, 40 times? And I get the NFL is a week to week league, and you're gonna adjust to the strengths and weaknesses of your team, and then also what you see on film in the other team. But with the Bills, I'm just like sometimes it just feels like Ken Dorsey is just calling random shit, and Josh Allen is breaking sacks and moving, and he might find Diggs wide open, but it's like, what's the scheme? Like, can we trust this week in and week out? Like, I know I can trust Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes to end around me and bubble screen and whatever the fuck, and Kelsey do whatever the fuck you want to do. And I know with the Dolphins, although they don't play defense, what you're getting out of Tyreek Hill and what that offense is. I don't know what the Bills' offense is.
And it's funny you say that. Go ahead, Chuck.
The real talk, Vince. You said it. They need to get the ball out of his hands quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just back there. Like that's what you watch the Miami Dolphins play to a high. They getting the ball out of his hands,
Yeah.
and they catch the defense sleep. Tyreek up top. Like they got the weapons to do that. The scheme is just. I'm gonna just say it's a bad scheme they're in right now, bro. They got enough weapons.
And on top of that, it's funny we're talking about that because when he had Brian Daboll, that was probably the best Josh Allen we saw. And now, as good as Josh Allen is, like sometimes he just locks in on Diggs when he's not open.
Yeah.
Like he will literally stare down Diggs, and I'm like, bro, you're a better quarterback to know like this is shell coverage. Like you have to make your next read, and he'll try to force it sometimes. And Diggs may make the catch because he's Diggs, but I think they just have too many plays, if this is even a thing, too many plays drawn up for Diggs. Like you have to get other people involved eventually, and that's why like Diggs is like a safe play in fantasy a lot because he's gonna have so many targets.
He dialed in on him every play. It's crazy.
Every play, and then if Diggs don't get the ball, he's throwing a tantrum on the sideline.
Yep.
So maybe that's part of it. Who knows? But last night, Cowboys big bounce back win in LA. I did bet on Dallas when I went to Louisiana. I think that was a closer game. I thought Dallas would win by 7, but it was close, and Dak clutched up. Dak had a monster game. CeeDee Lamb had a monster game, as I expected as well. Eckler not much on the ground. Cowboys defense did their thing. Not too surprised by that game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. I'm not too surprised. I had CeeDee Lamb over 100 yards. I knew it. I knew that was a smart remark from Jerry Jones. They got my man the ball. By the way, phenomenal receiver if you get him the ball. Like, just got to get him the ball. But that game could have been even worse. Let's be real, man. Gallup dropped 63 passes yesterday. Like, let's just keep it real, bro. Gallup, him and Dak are just not on the same page this year. I don't know what's going on. But the Chargers are the Chargers. They're going to be in every game like that and lose. Like, it's the Chargers. They're going to lose by 3-7 every game. Let's be real. Like, let's just be honest. But yeah, I'm not really surprised. Good bounce back from Dallas as they should.
Good win for the Cowboys. I think that I saw a stat that said something like the Cowboys have like a 10-1 record or something, or Mike McCarthy only has one loss after he's undefeated after a loss. Like he doesn't have back-to-back losses in his 10 years as the Cowboys coach. And so, Dallas they're going to Dallas at the end, per usual. I feel like, and I don't say that I hate. I just say that because that's just what it is. And the reason why I say that because that game had no reason being close last night. It should have been, honestly, that score should have been like 32-10, right? But you got Gallup who missed 2 touchdowns, not 1 but 2. You got a guy who doesn't have the conscience to be like, you know what, I'm not going to touch the football. and you give
Bruh.
them a touchdown. And see, like, and then that's why it's like when so to the Dallas fans out there, when we, when you guys hype the Dallas Cowboys up, and they have a good team. Like, I love their defense. When you guys hype this team up, and then we see things like this, it's just like, this is what they're going to do. You know what I mean? Like, Dak could have he almost threw a pick six to end the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, and granted,
Yeah.
football is a game of inches, right? And it's always you can't really nitpick just little things, but this is the Cowboys' MO, and so it's unfortunate because they got a generational player in Micah Parsons, who I think can maybe tip the scale for them. Like, if they're on defense and they need to get a stop up 3 or something, I can see him just wreaking havoc and getting them to.
He did it last night.
He did it last night.
Yeah.
But man, the offense and just sometimes just the bonehead stuff it's just too much with Dallas. So good win though. I won't take it away from them. I just think they played a team who also just can't, get it together, especially in prime time. And so I think we need to start talking about Justin Herbert, who kind of, I don't want to say overhyped, but he just hasn't looked as, I feel like as good as he should at this point. With where people were putting him. Not saying he's bad, but just with
right.
With the hype and things are at. So
yeah, and as somebody that's always on Herbert for like not getting it done in the end, he did miss Keenan Allen on that one pass, which probably would have went for 70 or 60 or whatever. So that was a big miss. But to his credit, that last drive, he had no chance, man. Parsons made a crazy inside move, and then it just goes to show you when quarterbacks get pressured, it doesn't matter how talented you are. He had no chance. I don't really put that last drive on them, but the Chargers coach should have been fired. Do I need to Google? What's his name? I need to Google him. He hasn't been fired yet. Why does he still have a job? Because it's the same thing over and over. Just don't get it, man.
Yeah, some organizations, I think it's the same thing with the Bears. Some organizations just don't give a fuck. And I hate to put it that plainly, but that's just what it is. It's like, I want to say, I don't know if it was Stephen A. Smith or whoever, it could have been, I don't know who it was, but they were saying, and just like the Bears, the Chargers don't invest in good coaches. Like, you got all these coaches. Like, can you imagine if Justin Herbert had a Jim Harbaugh or a proven head coach, or maybe in Justin Fields' case, like, that stuff matters, and so
it does.
They get the roster, like, they have all the defense, all the money on their defense. Did Herbert get paid?
Say it again.
I don't think did Herbert get paid yet?
I think so. I think
so. Yeah, I think he
was
did.
supposed to.
Okay.
Him and Berto and Hurts are all supposed to get paid. So he didn't.
They gotta pair him with a coach that they can take you to the promised land. Because that's what the good quarterbacks have. So
a couple more things before we wrap it up. We don't necessarily have to do a power rankings, but where are the Detroit Lions ranked now? I mean, I think I'll put them in my top 5. I think I had them in 6 now. I'm not quite going to put them above KC, San Fran, or Philly. I think them and Miami is close. I'll put them over Buffalo now. But they're playing really good football. So, I'm seeing lists saying they're the best team in football. It's like, I'll give them this. They're the hottest team in football, and they're playing really good football. But at the end of the day, if it's December and it's a playoff game, I'm not necessarily taking them over, maybe 3 or 4 teams. But so I don't think it's fair to say they're the best team in football right now. I still think that's the Niners, despite the loss.
I agree. Niners still the best team in the league despite the loss. Then probably the Eagles. 1 or 2, whatever you want. But 3. Yeah, we right. Well, I think we 3. Like, I know a lot of people are gonna put KC ahead of us, but I'm telling you, bro, KC struggled with Denver. Let's be real. Like, that game, it was a bad game, but man, they just not the same Chiefs. Like, they don't. Even the offense isn't really like. You know what?
Chiefs
That's
repeat.
my upset of the week. Chargers gonna go in there and win Sunday. That's I'm calling that. They're gonna go in there. They just lost this game. That's another leg. They're gonna go in there and they're gonna beat the Chiefs Sunday. I'm calling it right now. That's them. And then we could dead this next week, and the Lions will go beat the Ravens, and we then for sure the best team in the league.
Oh man,
how could you imagine if that played out like that, bro? But nah, I think they're 3 right now, though. I think they're 3. I think we could just beat Miami because they play too fast. Like that's just gonna come bite them in the ass. Pause. Like straight up. The Bills. I don't know. Like Ben said, I don't know what the Bills are. Who else? The Bengals. I don't know, man. The Bengals. They won 2 in a row, but I don't know, man. Burrow just can be Burrow sometimes, and the magic comes out, and then they just start clicking. Like I don't know. Bengals are just one of those teams where you like. They could salvage their season right now. They win a couple more in a row, but I really don't know. But yeah, I would put us 3 right now. And, I mean, if you put KC 3, I get it. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I like where you guys got Detroit. If you wanted to say 3 to 5, that's fine. And to be honest, I say what I say about golf and the Lions, but if a Lions fan or whoever said they had them number 1, I wouldn't scoff at that. They've only lost to Seattle. It was at home, but it wasn't like they got blowed out. And I'm not, I dislike them because they're a division rival for my Bears. But if I was a Lions fan, I'd be talking cash shit. You know what I mean? Like 5-1 or whatever their record is. It'd be.
Still can't believe it.
It'd be. I'd be talking like we're the best team in the league. So.
Yeah, you gotta milk it. We ain't one of the.
I get it, but at the same time, maybe, and I'm not trying to sound cocky. Maybe I'm blessed because Philly has been pretty good in recent years. So it's like when you see your team, like I'm not even saying win the Super Bowl, but when you see them like make playoff runs and make the playoffs a lot, I guess you don't get too high off regular season wins or losses. That's why, I was down with the Jets game, but at the end of the day, I'm like the Eagles are 5-1. They're playing the Dolphins next, so it's like even if they could lose that game versus Miami, I'll be 100% real, and I don't think the average fan's going to panic and they're going to think the Eagles are collapsing, and I'm just going to be like, be cool. Yeah, that's what I tell the Lions fans I know. I'm like, just be cool. Like you guys are good, but I get it. You guys haven't been in this territory, so you're excited. So I'm just saying from experience, it's going to hurt a lot more when you think you're the best team in football and something happens in the first or second round. That's the reality of it. Only one team can win it all.
Yeah, I've been a Laker fan for life. I've always been a Laker fan since I'm this big. Like I know, like I always said, like I'm just like pushing it because it's Detroit. But look, we'd have been bad in basketball for so long. We'd have been bad in football for so long before this year. Baseball's been bad, bro. You got the Phillies, you got the Eagles. You got the Sixers, bro. Like, dog, you got 3 teams in Philly. The Flyers.
Flyers aren't good. Flyers aren't good.
3 teams, bro, that are just always right there, always making the playoffs.
But you've seen a Pistons ring in your lifetime. I never saw a Sixers win a ring, and I don't get when the Sixers can go 20-0 in regular season right now. And I'm not going to get excited. I will not be excited. There's no chance I'm going to get. Oh, we're doing it all. Like I know better. Like I got to see them do it in the playoffs. It's just simple as that.
What I will say about Detroit though is when it does come time for them to play San Francisco or Philly, if they can do what those teams are going to do to Detroit, and what I mean by that is force Jared Goff to beat them. Like if the Lions can force Purdy and Hurts to be in the same predicament, the Lions could beat either one. And to be honest with you, because it's going to be one of those fights. It's like, who can make more plays, right? And I'm not comparing Goff to Hurts, but with the way the Eagles' passing game has been, and if the Detroit Lions can stop their run game, and it's like one of those battles, who knows? Who knows?
No, I agree with that. I'm not saying I would never sit up here and saying the Lions can't. Because I think, they're in the territory. It's starting to tip to where you could say, okay, maybe they are going to make the NFC Championship. So I'll be realistic about it. I'm just saying the whole best Goff MVP, just slow down a little bit. But I get it. I agree with that, Vince. I agree with that take 100%.
Hey, real quick, Buffalo up 2-0. Quick, out the gate.
Who scored? We were doing hockey DFS for some sickos.
I don't know who scored. I can't
Last
even
few things. Let's do a couple quick picks. We got Jags at Saints next week. I know it's early in the week, so if you don't feel like picking, it's cool. We don't know the status of Lawrence. Saints are -1.5. I would probably lean towards the Saints here.
Can we edit this out and do the picks? Like just send our picks in. I'm beat.
Yeah, we could get up out of here. I was just gonna ask what you guys think the Lions and Ravens are gonna do next week.
Oh, man, I gotta stop fucking with them Lions, man. They fucking me up, man. If my first initial thought was Ravens, like you all, right? Like that's what the line suggests. Like, you know, Chuck said they got injuries and things like that. But man, this has been a weird year, man. It's been so I don't never really know until like 10 a.m. right before I'm about to place it. Like
for
I
sure,
thought,
for sure.
like,
This ain't no official pick.
gun in my head, I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna go with the Lions, man. Ravens are weird. They struggling shit, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you right there.
It could be a flood too.
If I'm taking points,
I agree. I would take points as of now, but we'll come back to it with picks, and we'll wrap up this episode. Episode 9 in the books. I appreciate you guys. Go Phillies! Game starts in like 10 minutes, so I'm fired up. Let's go, man. We got to talk soon, baby.
Episode 10. We got to do something special for episode 10, bro.
For sure. Talk soon.